It's the Force. I'm your host, Jesse Swear, nationally recognized fitness trainer, Silver Sneaker Flex instructor. You can find out more about me. Visit my website, www.jesseswear.com. And no, you were not hearing things. I had the music turned up. I just didn't have my mic turned up. In fact, I wasn't saying anything. I was just going, making it look like I was doing something. Look, the fours are for you. It's 4 resistant band exercises. That's what I have on this. This is not for a suit and tie. I do not work at Men's Warehouse. Although, hey, I probably look good in a suit. But I don't work at Men's Warehouse, so I'm not going to be measuring you up today for a new suit. I'm going to be measuring you up to use 4 resistance bands for whole body wellness. And that's what I'm here to demonstrate today. So that's why I brought my resistance band with me. Now, I don't know if you have one at home, but if you do, go dig it up. You might have thrown that in that trash. I might be in that upper compartment of that drawer in your kitchen. It might be stashed under the couch where you act like you're actually going to use it, but you never do. But we want to get it out. And if you have one of these, excellent. If you don't and you are a Silver Sneaker member, call up your Silver Sneaker hotline. There is a hotline for that, or a number. It's on your card that you have, and ask for a resistance band. And let them know that you want one that you can control. So one that is lightweight and resistant. So you usually have a yellow, a green, and a red. Red being the difficult, green being the mid, and then the yellow being a little more simplified in around about 2 to 3 pounds of resistance. And then you get the green about 3 to 5 pounds, and then the red a little bit 5 pounds and more in resistance. But the resistance can change by the placement. But you want to get that resistance band. And we want to get to those 4s. Now, before we get started and going over these 4 resistance band exercises for whole body wellness, there's a few things that I need to go over because they can be done in the seated position or the standing position. But if you have any lightheadedness, pain, dizziness, discomfort, or fatigue, you want to hit that pause button and come back a little later. The other thing is that verse rule 5. You should always consult with your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise with me, you assume all dangers, hazards, risks of such participation. Exercises demonstrated by the instructor in this online class can be demanding. If you're unable to safely perform these exercises, please modify them or choose a different set of exercises. Number 2, I can't see you, I can't hear you. Pay attention to your form, pay attention to mechanics. Lengthen and elongate that spine. Mirror me on the chair, edge. If you're standing, anchor those feet, toes over knees, knees over hips, hips over shoulders, and you're going to be working on full range of motion through these exercises today that I do show you. You also want to mirror me, and you want to enjoy that journey as well. And always trying to tighten and engage the core. That's a tip I want to give you, is tighten and engage the core as we do this. And then adjust the resistance as well with the hands and the feet, which I'll show you as we go. Number 3. Breathe, inhale, exhale. 4, pay attention to the rate of perceived exertion. Resistance bands can take you to that 10, however, this demonstration, so it's going to be a 1 to 3 on that rate of perceived exertion. 3 being the high, means you get a little fatigue, a little discomfort. You want to tend to back down, or just change the resistance band to a yellow if you have one, make it lighter resistance for this demonstration. As you always want to start off with a lighter resistance and then move your way up to a heavier resistance as we go, or you engage your body throughout, or get more prepared, or more muscular endurance, or more strength. You know the deal. Don't start at the high, because that's when you never come back. And we want you to keep coming back. And then you get to number 5. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Make sure you get your hydration. All right. Let's show you those exercises. That first exercise I'm going to go, I got my green band with me, is I'm going to do a bicep curl. So, in order to do that bicep curl from this standing position, I need to drop this band down, and I can do it where it is more intensified, or I can do it where it's modified. So, the modification is just 1 foot. I put that 1 foot down. I make sure that it goes right where that arch would. And I'm not putting it at the toes, I'm not putting it at the heel, I'm putting it right center in my foot, and I'm going to turn those hands out, and I'm going to be in that supinated position, and I'm just going to curl up. Just like that. Nice and tall, engage the core, tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone. As you see what I'm doing. Now, all exercises that we do, we want to do 3 sets of about 8 to 10. 3 sets, 8 to 10. Now, that was a modification. That is a more simplified way to do the exercise routine. Now, if you want to add more attention to your band, what you do is you take that other foot and you step in there, and you can either go narrow with that stance, you can go wider. The wider you go, the more tension you're going to have because the less resistance band, and you're going to do the exact same thing. Squeeze it up. A little more resistance. This is your bicep curl. Another tip I want to give you is when you do this bicep curl, as I turn to the side, I don't want you to turn the wrist. See, when you turn that wrist, you actually risk more damage to the wrist, and you don't engage the bicep the way you want to. So you want to keep those wrists nice and fixed, and you just want to curl up. And you don't have to go the whole way. You can just go 90%. You can go about 80%. You can go 60%. You can go even half a percent, 50% of the way. Keep those wrists fixed. The other tip is 1 foot or 2 foot. Lightweight in the resistance as well. And you're able to change and choose where you go with that resistance band. The next exercise is that upright row. I'm going to show you again 2 different resistance. You have your first resistance, right? But I'm going to cross these bands in front of me. So I'm creating an X, if you saw. I create that X, and then I'm going to stand nice and tall, and then I'm going to do an upright row. Hands go down, right to my thigh, right underneath my belt, and I lift up. Now they can just come here, if that's all as high as you get them, or they can come here, or they can come a little bit higher. Side view looks like this. There's the 1, there's the 2, or if you can bring them a little bit higher, you want to go a little bit higher. Again, 3 sets, 8 to 10. If you want to add a little bit more resistance, you take that other foot, you step that left foot in there. Now you got that right foot, and you got that left foot in there for that upright row, and you're going to take that X, create that X again, you're resting them right here, and you're pulling them up. So again, the real tip here is choose a lightweight resistance that you can manage and that you can handle. You adjust the resistance with your hands, you adjust the resistance with your feet. 1 foot, less resistance. 2 feet, more resistance. Tighten and engage the core for tip number 3. Lift those arms up, keep those wrists fixed at all times, and do 3 sets, 8 to 10. That was your bicep curl and your upright row. The next exercise is going to be a back extension. Now, if you need some hydration, I recommend getting that hydration. I'm going to grab a little bit of hydration right now because demonstrating these exercises is not that easy. And again, when you notice that these resistance bands, if you go out and get one and you buy one, and these are by Spri, S-P-R-I, that they are a little more difficult than you think they are because they are isokinetic, and it's based upon the theory. The amount of tension that you apply to these resistance bands is the amount of tension that is applied to those muscles. So you get to dictate how much tension you apply to those muscles. The next exercise is going to be that back extension, and again, we can go 1 foot less intense, or we can do 2 feet more intense. I'm going to show you that 1 foot. If you've been following along in some other exercise routine of the 4s, you would notice that I've done this with the kyphosis exercise routine as well. So it is a back extension. You're going to just hip hinge, and you're pulling through. Side view would look like this. Hip hinge down, pull through. Dropping those bands right to here, about to the knee, and pull, and shoulder squeeze. That's the other thing. So hip hinge, and then shoulder squeeze as those hands come into the pocket. So you're going to just roll them down. You see less tension, they're really loose here. I'm keeping the head above the heart, and then I'm pulling up, and I'm pulling to the pocket, and I'm shoulder squeezing. Hip hinging, head above the heart, shoulder squeeze. Now, if we want to add more tension, what do? You add another foot. Some of you, they're saying, I don't need to add any more tension. That's okay. You don't need to add more tension. The other thing you can do to take less tension and modification, as you do not have to cross it and create X, you can just roll like this and come up through and drop down. So this would be the next way to add a little bit of tension and increase intensity. Or you can cross them, create that X again, let them hip hinge, right? Relax here, slide up, shoulder squeeze. Hip hinge, relax those arms, come all the way up those thighs, shoulder squeeze. Come all the way up. Back extension. So you're extending that back, you're doing a shoulder squeeze, you're doing a hip hinge, and you're doing it with resistance. So again, not only is this going to be a whole body wellness exercise for you, it's also going to help with that kyphosis. So if you've got that creepy old man syndrome, right? Guess what? You can do this exercise as well. Just make sure that you go through that kyphosis, the 4 kyphosis exercises for lower darts before you start doing this at a more advanced level with these resistance bands, because you want to be able to get that shoulder squeeze, you want to be able to get that hip hinge, and you want to get that back extension all working together, and then add the resistance with these resistance bands. Last exercise, chest press. I'm going to take this band, I'm going to wrap it around my waist. That's right. You can't use a belt for this, so you can't take your belt off and use it. And you want to just kind of shimmy, shimmy, shimmy it up under these armpits. And you can either grab the handle right here, press on out. And if you notice, I get a little less resistance because they're wiggly here, right? So if you want to make more resistance with this band, you can either go from the yellow, take the green, we'll go get the red, or you can move your hands back off the handles like I just did. So now my hands are not on the handles, they're behind the handle on both sides, and I press out. Just like that. So now you're working on that protraction and retraction, right? Hitting that kyphosis as well. So these all go together. You can move your hands back even farther. Add a little bit more resistance. Again, you control the resistance. You control the whole body wellness. It's the 4s. 4 exercises using resistance bands for those older adults to great and get that whole body wellness. Bicep curls, upright row, back extension, and chest press. 3 sets, 8 to 10 of each. I'm done, my friends. Enjoy this video and keep on coming back. From the window to the wall. From the floor to the door. Peace, my friends. It's the 4s. Like, be 11 your feet, like your thigh. I'm out!